So it's been about 6 months since we've launched PS4 Pro, and I'm curious, you pleased with the overall reception?
Yeah, the reaction's been pretty good. I mean, some of that's, of course, driven by 4K TV adoption. We're seeing that roughly half of the PS4 Pro users are playing their games on 4K TVs, which means half are using HD TVs. The benefits are pretty good regardless of what TV you're using. For games, I'm particularly impressed by Horizon Zero Dawn. It's quite nice on a standard PS4, but it's gorgeous on the Pro. And for those with PSVR headsets, I highly recommend taking a look at Playroom VR, which is free for anyone who owns the headset, and Farpoint that just released last month. The crispness and detail of the graphics that you get when you play on Pro are astonishing.
So what are you hearing from developers regarding PS4 Pro's increased power?
When creating new hardware, we do our best to make sure that it's easy for the developers to use. And I've been hearing that it's been pretty quick to get up to speed on Pro, anything from a few weeks to even a few days in some cases. And a number of the game directors that I've talked to have been pretty excited. The high-fidelity games on PS4 Pro will definitely be closer to their vision. For example, frame rate has always been important to Kazunori Yamauchi at Polyphony. With Gran Turismo Sport, he'll be able to hit 60 Hz at 4K on PS4 Pro.
4K gaming, obviously an evolving landscape, right? So curious if there have been any surprises or sort of aha moments as we've rolled out PS4 Pro.
I wouldn't call it a surprise, but it was definitely tough going last year at the press conference where we introduced the PS4 Pro. We were trying to show the benefits of a 4K capable console to people who mostly didn't own a 4K TV and couldn't see the graphics that we were talking about. Now that 4K TV adoption rates are up and the Pro is on the market, it's getting much easier to communicate the improvements in the game experience. And undoubtedly, the best way we have to demonstrate that leap in graphics capability with Pro is for people to see and play it for themselves, either at a friend's house or at a show like E3.
At PlayStation Experience, we learned about Guerrilla's Decima engine. And I'm curious if there's anything you can share about how it might tap into PS4 Pro's increased power.
Decima is the engine behind a few titles, including Riggs, Until Dawn, and now Horizon Zero Dawn. Guerrilla Games is a very talented technical team, and they have the ability to focus just on PlayStation platforms. So Decima is an engine that is customized to use the detailed capabilities of PS4, and now PS4 Pro. Specifically on the Pro, they're using super sampling to support 1080p HD TVs, as well as higher quality texture maps and increased quality of anisotropic texture filtering. The result is smooth, stable, and clean imagery. Another way to say that is that they've removed most of the jaggies and noise that games typically suffer from. For 4K TVs, they're using checkerboard rendering at 2160p, which brings a truly surprising amount of detail to the graphics. And for all PS4s, at all resolutions, Decima has state-of-the-art support for TVs compatible with HDR, which greatly increases the range of color and contrast. It's not something I can describe well with words. You simply have to see it.
Speaking of the Decima engine, we also learned that Kojima Productions is going to be using that for Death Stranding. So I gotta ask, is there anything you can share about the game or how it might tap into PS4 Pro's increased power?
Kojima Productions is doing more than just using Decima. They're actively contributing to its development. The Decima engine is now a collaboration between the two studios. As a result, I think anyone who saw the Death Stranding trailer last December was probably pretty blown away by the close-up of Mads Mikkelsen and the reality of the graphics on Pro. As for gameplay, I have seen some early work. I haven't gotten my hands on the controller yet, but I can say that the game shows a certain clarity of vision. It is, in the best sense possible, a Kojima game.
Another game we're all looking forward to is Spider-Man. What is the team at Insomniac Games saying about how they're planning to leverage PS4 Pro?
I'm actually spending a lot of time with the Insomniac team. It's a pretty similar relationship to what I have with Kojima Productions, so I've seen quite a bit of Spider-Man. I don't want to diminish in any way what they're doing for the Pro. It's great, but their number one focus is on gameplay innovation within the Spider-Man universe. For example, how does Spider-Man fight? And certainly with his incredible speed and agility, and of course his webs, there's the potential for a whole different style of combat than you've ever seen before. I'm really looking forward to the next reveal of the title. Getting back to your question about specifics on PS4 Pro, they're using a forward-looking technique called temporal injection that lets them efficiently support 4K displays. The display buffers they're using are 2160p, so it's full-on 4K, and they can then scale down those buffers to create very clean and high-quality graphics for 1080p HDTV owners.
Are there any other titles we should be looking forward to in terms of high-end implementation of PS4 Pro support?
I'm hearing some great things about Destiny 2, and also Star Wars Battlefront 2, though I haven't had a chance to do a deep dive on the technology behind them just yet. I should point out that 6 months in, we're really only getting started with PS4 Pro. If you think Horizon looks great, just wait and see. Developers have some amazing stuff coming on the Pro.
More broadly speaking, you've been in the games industry for years. What does the future of games development look like from your perspective?
We've been talking about technology here, but in and of itself, technology is not meaningful. It acquires meaning when it enables the game creators to bring something new and exciting into the world. So I'm happy that the Pro allows less compromises in the creative vision, but at the same time, as a gamer myself, I'm always looking for that tool or technology that'll allow games to go to a whole new level, and to bring that tech to the game's community so that the creators can best take advantage of it. As for what that whole new level is, I think we'll just have to wait and find out what Todd Howard and Neil Druckmann and Sam Houser and the like create next.
Mark, is there anything you're looking forward to in particular at E3 this week?
It'll be quite the showcase for PS4 Pro. All games in the booth will be running on it.
PlayStation